Hello, my name is Fred Gutierrez, F-R-E-D G-U-T-I-E-R-R-E-Z. I was born in North Platte, Nebraska, raised in New Mexico, but imported into South Carolina. Started playing golf about a year and a half ago when I hooked up with my friend Rich O'Brien, and I used golf as a way of physical exercise and to get myself off my duff and off the couch so I don't gain too much weight. And when I first started playing golf, I couldn't even walk 9 holes. I could barely walk 9 holes, I should say. And by the end of August, when Rich invited me to member guest tournament, as he puts it, I drugged my left foot and I scuffed the greens, which made more work for him. And then we ended up riding a golf cart, and I shot 108 at that time, and worked really hard to try to lower my scores and keep track of what I was doing. So while we were doing that, my swing thought at that time was for the glory of God. If every swing I make and every step I take is for the glory of God, because He really is the one that saved my life. And everything I do is for Him anyway, because everything is about God for me. And He's an awesome person, and our relationship with Him is everything, And I use golf as a vehicle, as I said, for my source of exercise. And the way I got started is I went to the VA to ask them for Botox injections, which is not the collagen Botox like they get for their facelifts and stuff like that, like Joan Rivers has her big fat lips. Like I have big full lips too, but mine's natural. And anyway, my Botox injections are for the spasticity in my arm and my leg, and it helps reduce the pain levels, which I have high pain levels, which I live with pain levels of, in a scale of 1 to 10, my pain levels are around 9 all the time. Well, with the Botox injections, it brought it down to about 5 and 6, and I also take acupuncture shots, therapy, and that brought it down to about 4 or 5, and that reduced it down to about 3, 4, and to me, that's hardly anything. When you've been shutting down pain levels of 9 for so long, 3, 4 is hardly anything. And I know a lot of people's like aches and pains, like, oh, this hurts, I can't do anything. It's like, for me, it's like, nothing. I woke up one morning, I should say, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was watching an infomercial about this young lady that had been paralyzed from the waist down, and she had been getting Botox injections, and I didn't know anything about Botox injections, so I tried to look it up on the internet, and it was really, this was the funny part. I didn't know how to spell Botox, so I spelled Buttocks on there, and the very last word on the list was Botox. So I looked it up and read more about it, and I found out that Botox injections was for the spasticity of left hemiplasia, which is my condition, which also helps stroke patients and other patients that have any kind of paralysis on the right side or left side from the strokes. And in my condition, mine was from a gunshot wound to the head. Unfortunately, I did that to myself from suffering from PTSD and life PTSD. And I tried to commit suicide, which is not an issue because God knew I was going to do that. And He saved my life and said, okay, now what are you going to do from this time forward? So from this time forward, that was May 18th of 1996. So from that time forward, I've done everything to be positive and inspire people to be better and to find out how to be better. So about 16 years ago, I went to the VA and I said, well, you guys wrote me off. How do I get better from here? Let me get Botox injections. And they said, well, how'd you find out about Botox injections? Let's reevaluate me then. You've got to do this. And so Dr. Gonzalo Rivalto, he reevaluated me with a little prodding from my part. And he was like, okay, so you do qualify for this. So anyway, we got the Botox, first session of Botox injections, and my spasticity, I couldn't do this, and I couldn't do this with my left leg. I couldn't raise my left leg.
Okay, hold on, do that again.
Okay, I couldn't do this, and I couldn't do this. So, and I could take a hammer and smash it on my arm, and I couldn't feel it. I could feel the pressure on the arm, but now I can feel myself pinching, and I could get a bruise from the hammer when I would smash the hammer on my arm, and that's it. And to feel this now, it's like, this is cool, you know. And now I attribute that to Botox injections and acupuncture. Acupuncture reboots the central nervous system. It takes and cuts off the pain going to your limbs and the bad side of your body, and like in my case, the paralysis. And with Mary Margaret Dobson, who's in charge, who runs the acupuncture center in Somerville, she puts the needles in my head, and we send up all the PTSD to heaven, and along with my prayers while I'm sitting there for the hour just meditating and listening to the music. And I pray to God to please heal me, but according to His will, not on my timing, on His timing. So it's really nice that we get to do these things together. He says, as long as I'm doing His will and on His timing, not my timing, He'll do it as long as I'm doing stuff. But I got to get off my lazy duff. And I come out here and I play golf at Myler Country Club and at Berkeley Country Club in Monk's Corner, because I live in Monk's Corner. So on March 5th, I played a game of golf, 36 holes. I shot, on the first 18 I shot 85, the second 18 I shot a 95, but I shot a 95 because I was so tired. That's equivalent to 9.5 miles, by the way. Wow. And I'm dragging 90 pounds of dead weight. That's equivalent of somebody putting a backpack. When you're in the military, you put all of your stuff in a backpack and you force march 5 miles with 90 pounds of stuff in your backpack. And that's me dragging my left body around. I did, but I was left-handed, so I had to switch my train of thought from left-handed to right-handed.
Well, how devastating was it when you couldn't golf for a long time?
It wasn't that big a deal because I didn't golf that much before. But what was devastating was I used to run in marathons, and I used to bicycle in marathons, and I used to work out all the time. So I had a rock-hard abs and you know, a rock-hard body. So I used to dream all the time about running. I used to dream all the time about martial arts. I used to dream all the time about bicycling, and I couldn't do any of that. So then I started slowly but surely getting heavy, and I got up to about 190, 192, 193 in weight. And I had this gut, I had this typical South Carolinian profile, physique, and I couldn't stand it, and it was like, okay, what do I do? And in our small group in our church, I made mention about it, and one of my friends made me my set of golf clubs for a Christmas gift, and I put it in the closet because I was so intimidated. I put it, and I was so overwhelmed by the love gift that he made for me, and I put them in the closet. And they sat in the closet for about like 3 months, and I said, okay, I can't let this love gift just go to waste here. So I finally got up the courage to go to Johnny's Fun Park on Ashley Phosphate, and I hit a bucket of balls. I said, okay, I can hit a bucket of balls. Now I've got to go forward and get more courage. And the first place I came was Myler Country Club here. And I played the front nine. And unfortunately that day we had a thunderstorm. And I got on the second hole, the owner had to come out and get me on a golf cart. He goes, hey, dumb behind, what are you doing out here? Didn't you hear the horn? I said, what's the horn mean? There's a thunderstorm. You got to get off the golf course. I said, really? You got to get off the golf course when you hear, Arr! or the siren or whatever that sound is. He goes, yeah, there's lightning. Can't you see the lightning? I said, yeah, I see the lightning going all the way across the sky. So what does that mean? You can't be out here with a piece of metal in your hand. You got to get off the golf course. I said, okay, so take me off the golf course. So we're laughing about it. He's laughing at me, calling me all kinds of names. And so I'm laughing at him because he's laughing at me. And it's like, okay. So we get off the golf course. The second time I tried was back here again, and I got lost over here on the 7th and 8th hole because I was walking and I didn't know the golf course. So I'm walking around and I'm like, okay, that's part of my brain injury. It's like, okay, where am I? Where's the next hole? So he comes out again. He's like, okay, done behind, where are you? What are you doing? You're holding up everybody behind you. And it's like, I don't know where I am. He goes, you're on the 7th hole. I said, okay, where's the next hole? Right over there. And so he's yelling at me again. It's like, do you have to yell at me? He goes, you're supposed to go over there and tee off. It's like, okay. That's all you had to do, tell me. Just go right over there and tee off. And what do I do now? Go over there and tee off and go to the next hole. It's like, okay. So we're having the same conversation again. And he just gets mad at me. Get in the cart. So he drags me back to the pro shop. I goes, just sit there and I'll teach you the pictures. Can you learn by pictures? I said, maybe. So we laugh about that. We have another laugh about that and another Coke. So I tried again the third time. This time he puts me with another guy and we play the course, the front nine, but he drives me on the golf cart. I didn't walk this time. He drives me with a golf cart and we do the front nine. That was the third time in the course I got a little bit better. Shot, I don't know, maybe 200. Because I had to get it in my mind, going from shooting left-handed to shooting with not two hands to one-handed to having the courage to go out and play in the first place. So I'm trying not to go break down into tears. You know, here's a grown man, 50 at that time, 56 years of age, not trying to be a real man. It's like, ta-da, like Tarzan. To be, okay, this is going to be cool. I'm going to play golf no matter what. So I got the courage to go do it. And then I met Rich O'Brien, my friend at church. And he's a professional golfer and an instructor, and he's got psychology in golf. And I asked Rich, I said, Rich, do you think you could teach me how to play golf? He goes, sure, I'll do whatever I can to teach you. So we hooked up and we started playing golf. And he got me playing better and encouraging me, and that was really cool. So now my average is right around 94, 95 on average and we, like I said, I now can walk and play 36 holes of golf and shoot in the 90s, mid-90s, which is okay. I mean, it's not about the score, it's about having fun and about the exercising and getting the physique down. I'm no Tarzan yet, but I'm still having fun, and I still got a sense of humor about it, and I still have the courage. And anytime anybody wants to come out and play a round of golf with me, I'm available, either here at Myler or at Berkeley Country Club, wherever. Just come and find me, and we'll play around. I think I've lost about maybe 25, 30 pounds, but it has gone from weight to muscle. And my calf has gone from a lady-sized leg to a man-sized leg. In other words, it's almost the same size as my right leg, where it used to be kind of skinny, kind of looked like a bird leg. Well, it's helped me with my PTSD. It's helped me with my attitude. It's helped me with my psychology in life. I kind of like just, if things don't go right, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's a better day. You know, you just shake it off. There's kind of like a psychology. It's like the old farmer had a donkey and it fell in a well, and they were burying it, and halfway through burying it in the well, it turned into a rescue mission, and they kept putting more dirt on top of the donkey. And the donkey just kept shaking it off and stepping up. And by the time they were through with it, he just stepped out of the well. because like I said, it turned into a rescue mission, and he just stepped out of the well. And so they rescued the donkey, and now he had his donkey back. And then you could use the donkey to do whatever, plow the fields, pull the cart. And that was me. I can now plow the fields, and now I can just do whatever. And about 1.5 years ago, I got married to my beautiful Christian wife, and it's like, so we have a blast. If you have PTSD, get acupuncture. If you have paralyzation of any kind, get Botox injections from the VA. They'll help you. And if they won't listen to you, push them. They can't write you off as long as you tell them, if they're going to write me off, I'll go above you. Push it. Have them reevaluate you. Don't sit back on your laurels. Get off your duff. Push. They're there for your benefit, but you got to push them. You're your own person. You're your own advocate. Do it. God loves you. He's there for you, but you got to be there for your own self. He's on your side. And the furthest distance from your relationship from Him is the distance from your knees to the floor. As long as you believe that and believe in yourself, no one else is going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself sometimes, and sometimes it hurts, and that's the hardest part. You can't just sit back and drink your life away, because your liver's not going to last forever. And no one else can do it for you. You got to do it for yourself, and you got to just believe in yourself. You did it once. You fought in the wars. You fought for your country. Your country loves you. You loved your country, and sometimes your country forgets about you. You can't do that. You can't forget about your family. You can't forget about the love that you had inside you. You can't forget about the courage that you had inside you. You got to forge forward. You got to have your own courage. And even playing golf you have to have that courage. And sometimes you got to embarrass yourself. Sometimes you got to fall down. Sometimes you got to fall forward. And you can't move forward until you stop looking backwards, or you're going to run into a wall. And sometimes those walls are hard, but they'll move. They'll move a little bit at a time. But it's worth it. It's really worth it. I mean, look at how far I've come. It's been 16 years, but it's been worth it.